Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Paul Heyman just dropped a bombshell about Roman Reigns. This comes days ahead of his rumored return between 2020 and 2024. Roman Reigns dominated the WWE ring along with the Bloodline. One of the people responsible for his dominance was Paul Heyman. As Reigns evolved from the big dog to the tribal chief, fans were witnesses to this evolution that happened on TV every week. This gave way to some incredible segments. During this time, the OTC and Heyman also formed a close bond with each other. However, those days are far behind them now, as Heyman betrayed Reigns to form the Vision, the same group that the OTC is feuding with. Roman is currently out of action and is reported to be back on Raw next week, during a recent appearance on What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon. Paul Heyman revealed that there were several things Roman Reigns entrusted him with that nobody knows about the OTC. The WWE Hall of Famer also made it clear that he will always keep their conversations between them private, even on his deathbed. And there were things that he entrusted me with that I don't think any other person on the face of the planet knows about him. Whether it was a promo in front of an audience or whether it was one of the things backstage on the couch. And he's searching for that layer that he wants to present. And I'll just pull him aside and say this. And he'll just look at me. Got it? It's tapped into it. And you have to trust me to keep that between us and never repeat it under any circumstances, even on my deathbed. And that goes to the grave with me. Paul Heyman points out the difference between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Characters Paul Heyman may be widely regarded as one of the greatest managers in the history of professional wrestling. Throughout his career, he managed many wrestlers. But the two that stand out are Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, due to their dominance under Heyman's guidance. Heyman had a hand to play in these stars' successful careers. During the same interview, Heyman pointed out that Brock Lesnar's character is intentionally very one-dimensional. But Reigns' character was special because there were different lanes and paths his story took as time evolved. Therefore, fans got to witness the character develop in front of their eyes. See Brock Lesnar. Really? We never explored the depth of the character Brock. Brock's character is intentionally very one-dimensional. But the tribal chief wasn't. What made the tribal chief so different is that at very strategic times, we presented lanes, and every time you thought you understood the tribal chief Roman Reigns, we showed you something else, and that's what made that character so breathtaking to watch develop in front of your very eyes. It's like watching a child star grow up in front of you. And as much of a grown man as Joe Anoa'i Roman Reigns obviously was, he grew up as the tribal chief in front of the audience. Roman Reigns definitely has to give credit to Paul Heyman for bringing out the best in his character. The WWE Universe has been buzzing for months, waiting for even the smallest sign that the tribal chief Roman Reigns is preparing to return. His absence has reshaped the entire landscape of the company. SmackDown feels different. The Bloodline looks different. The entire aura of dominance that once surrounded the undisputed WWE champion has shifted into unpredictability and chaos. But this week, Paul Heyman, the man who knows Roman Reigns better than anyone, added gasoline to the fire. A massive bombshell. A revelation that stunned fans, rattled locker rooms, and has people questioning what the future of WWE may look like, and if Heyman is telling even a fraction of the truth. Then Roman Reigns isn't just returning, he's returning with a purpose that may shake WWE to its core. Heyman breaks his silence. Paul Heyman, the special counsel to the tribal chief, has famously kept quiet throughout Reigns' hiatus. Usually, he's the mouthpiece who speaks more than Reigns himself. But lately, nothing. Silence. The one thing Heyman never delivers unless something major is in motion. Behind the scenes, But during an exclusive backstage interview recorded after Heyman finally cracked. When asked about the rumors of Roman Reigns preparing for an unexpected comeback, Heyman paused, sighed deeply, and delivered the bombshell. Roman Reigns is not returning to reclaim his throne. He's returning because the throne was never his to lose. Those few words were enough to send the internet into meltdown. WWE fans immediately began dissecting what he meant, while several veterans privately noted this is the most ominous thing Heyman has said in years, and when Paul Heyman speaks cryptically like this, it's never accidental. It's strategic. It's a warning. What exactly did Heyman mean? Heyman insisted that Roman's absence has been misinterpreted. While many thought Reigns stepped away due to bloodline implosion, backstage tensions, and the pressure of a 3-year title reign, Heyman suggested something much bigger. One, Roman Reigns never lost power. He simply stopped sharing it. The current bloodline, led by Solo Sikoa and fueled by new recruits, believes they've risen in Roman's absence. But according to Heyman, this is merely an illusion. Solo may be acting like the new head of the family. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa may be projecting dominance. Jacob Fatu may be terrorizing the roster. But to Heyman, these are all shadow games. Power, Heyman said, is not seized just because the king is not visible. The king remains the king, whether the subjects behave or misbehave. This strongly implies that Roman's return will be far more violent and personal than fans expected too. The bloodline civil war might be inevitable. Heyman's bombshell hinted that Roman doesn't plan to rejoin the current bloodline. He may be returning to destroy it, the idea of Roman Reigns dismantling the very empire he built is something fans have speculated about for months. But hearing Heyman, of all people, tease this possibility has elevated the rumors to another level. Is Heyman preparing to choose sides? One of the most interesting parts of Heyman's revelation didn't come from what he said, but from what he didn't say when asked directly. Will you still stand with Roman Reigns when he returns? Heyman looked shaken for the first time in years. He wiped his face, took a breath, and replied, "My allegiance has always been to truth. And the truth is, Roman Reigns does not need me anymore." This may be the biggest bombshell of all. For the first time since 2020, Heyman is publicly signaling that his role in the bloodline may be ending, or at least transforming. Fans are now wondering, is Heyman removing himself from the war that is coming? Is he warning Solo Sikoa before Roman returns? Or is he terrified because Roman Reigns has become something even he cannot control? Heyman is a master strategist and manipulator. But even he looked rattled. And that is never a good sign for the rest of the roster. Inside WWE, what backstage sources are saying backstage tension around Roman's impending return has been building, with multiple producers reportedly preparing for a total shift in direction. A few keynotes emerging from internal discussions. Roman is expected to return with a darker, more ruthless persona. This lines up with Heyman's emotional tone, almost as if he's seen something in Roman that scares him. The current bloodline could be completely dismantled. There are whispers that Roman may publicly punish Solo for assuming leadership without permission. The storyline is rumored to involve deep family betrayal. Roman may appear unannounced. WWE officials love shocking returns. And with the Survivor Series season approaching, a surprise attack would fit perfectly. The locker room is preparing for Roman's vengeful return arc. Sources claim this will be one of the most intense versions of Roman ever seen, not as a tribal leader, but as a destroyer. Why Heyman's bombshell changes everything. Paul Heyman doesn't hype false stories. He doesn't exaggerate. He doesn't play with words unless the message is deliberate. His warning that Roman didn't lose his throne. His hint that Roman no longer needs him. His silence when asked about Solo. This all leads to one conclusion. Roman Reigns is returning not to reclaim the bloodline, but to rebuild it in his own image. No matter who he must destroy, a Roman Reigns who no longer needs counsel or family. A Roman Reigns fueled by betrayal. A Roman Reigns who views every current bloodline member as disloyal. That is the most dangerous version of him yet. The WWE Universe now awaits the explosion fans worldwide. Now believe Heyman's cryptic bombshell wasn't a tease, it was preparation. The atmosphere is tense. WWE is clearly planting seeds for something massive, whether Roman returns at Survivor Series, the Raw after, or later this year. One thing is now certain. Asterisk, asterisk, when the tribal chief returns. He will not be the same man who left. He will be something far more dangerous. And Paul Heyman knows it. Asterisk, asterisk. The only question left is, will the bloodline survive Roman Reigns' wrath, or will he burn it down himself? One thing is guaranteed. The WWE Universe is not ready for what comes next.